Is immortal life possible in this life? Now, recently there's an article that touts jellyfish as a perfect example of how to achieve immortality. And a German scientist, sort of marine scientist, off the coast of the Italian Riviera found a jellyfish. And he observed that instead of moving to death, it is reversing and it's going back to an earlier stage and then starts coming back again. And they use the illustration as a chicken reversing and becomes an egg and then is born another chick. Or a butterfly reverses back to a caterpillar. Or a human return to a fetus and start life all over again. This is what they're saying this jellyfish does. And they're studying it to find what is causing this and perhaps if they could transfer it to humans. And so that humans could live forever. And they're saying that these jellyfish will live forever now. I'm not sure if that research or that experiment has been long enough to know that that is immortality. Yes, the jellyfish might do this same thing you're talking about 50 times, 100 times. But, I mean, you just can't, you just have to watch to see and to take as long as it would take to see whether this jellyfish really will not die. And so, is this possible? I don't think so, because it's true the scriptures isn't talking about birds and jellyfish and dogs and cats and so on. It's talking about humans with immortality. And so these scientists are wondering why no multinational or any government has come up to gain a patent on this and to see how they could transfer it to make humans live immortal. And I said that's not a good idea at all because people are so evil. You don't want to see these people living forever now. You don't want to see Jim Jones living forever. Or you don't want to see Hitler living forever. In fact, if these guys were into theology, they'll discover that Adam lived up to 1,000 years old. And now we're living up to 70. And Noah lived up to 500. It's around that time he had children. And so, what is causing the declension in humans? I mean, it's not talking about the race, it's talking about the individual. So, Adam should have lived up to a maximum age of 930, come back, degenerating back for 930, start over again for another 930. You know, I mean, it's so ridiculous. I will tell you though that there's already a plan on how we can become immortal. And it is found in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verses 51 to about 58. It says, "Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trump shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, Death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? The sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. But thanks be to God, which giveth us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord." And so, God has outlined it here. He's the one that's going to give immortality at the end of time. When he comes the second time, he's going to resurrect the dead, and those who are living, both will become immortal, meaning that there is no subject to death, sickness, degeneration, none of that. Plus, the environment is going to be also recreated. And that jellyfish wouldn't be anymore because I don't think we need jellyfish, again. But still, I think that study is flawed because they hadn't given it enough time. Had they given it 100 years watching that same jellyfish, I'm sure it's dead and gone. But it's a good thought it's a good experiment if it's really truly what they're seeing, that it reverts the old phase and stage and comes back again. But that's not what happened with humans. We saw where humans were living up to 1,000 years, came down to 500, it came down to 300, now it's only 70. And if we live long enough, it's going to come down lower. Just like fertility, children seeing their puberty at 8 and 7 and so on. So when you start seeing it so early, you're dying earlier. Because apparently, in older times, maybe persons at 50 saw the period for the first time or became mature or experienced puberty at 50, maybe 60. Then start coming down. Now it's at 8 and 7. So it's a sign that we're dying. So I don't see they could have any medicine or any drug to make us live forever, because God is the one who has a plan to make us immortal. And I'm sorry that these folks are looking for shortcuts. There's going to be no shortcut. We all die if we live long enough, and we have to wait on the Lord to make this immortality a reality in human. I don't see animals. I don't think animals qualify for that.